Peace, 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 people. Wow. CHINEDU was murdered by her worker for £1,000 is what the rumor has it. To think that she was the face of repatriation for this Pan-African movement, and the lackluster of commentary or videos for the death of SHAKINA is very, very startling to me. Black X is yet to do a video, but she did a lame ass post, which I want to get to. And why this is like a blow to them is because they cannot really sell this utopia, because this lady, SHAKINA, was about selling the utopia of Africa. She was about leaving America, leaving the UK, Black Xing out of the Western hemisphere and going to Africa. So yeah, I want to go first through the post that Black X stated for this type of ordeal. Rest in peace to CHINEDU. I might not be pronouncing her last name correct, and condolences to the family and friends of her. It's sad because you can tell there's no real unity with this so-called Pan-African movement. And hopefully people will start understanding that you are really at grave risk for trusting in this movement. There's a lot of uncertainties that circulate around going to a foreign country, especially as a single woman. People want to try to make it seem like it's not really big deal, like a big deal because, oh, killings happen everywhere. You know, circumstance, yeah, but the worker killed her. And so this lack of respect for so-called unity, the lack of respect for so-called trying to get Black people to be on one accord with different nationalities and different origins. I believe this young man between 20 and 30 killed this lady, and he was Sierra Leonean, I believe, from somewhere else, not a Gambian, but nonetheless an African. And I cannot imagine what her last moments were like when she realized that this guy was turning on her, and how devastated she was to know that that would be her last time breathing on this earth. Yeah, let me get to Black X. Peace, peace to everybody. Please like and share the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Black X has been around, as far as I know, for like 3-4 years that I've known of her. She is the main face also for this repatriation. But I believe that SHAKINA was instrumental in trying to push just different avenues of conversation for this topic, more so than I think Black X did. But Black X says, beautiful Black X family, divine emperor and empress, it's time to reclaim your birthright, your ancestral throne. Now, mind you, deaths have just occurred. 6 women, 5 from America, are deceased, and 1 was viciously killed. And so she starts off talking about reclaiming your birthright, your ancestral throne. What kind of throne is Africa really? And what type of propaganda that's been spewed by these Pan-Africans that they continue to do? They refuse to face the truth, and they will never let you in on the facts because, again, they have an agenda. She goes on to write, life and death happens everywhere, even in the UK and USA, in Europe and beyond. We refuse to allow fear to stop us from moving forward with our progress. PSYOPs will always be used against us to deter us from coming home. So anyone that speaks out about these murders are PSYOPs, according to Black X. If we speak out and warn people and tell people like the true nature of the beast there in Africa, somehow we are PSYOPs. Again, these people are very vicious, wicked. They represent everything about making you sacrifice yourself towards Africa. It seems and feels to me like a willful sacrifice in believing in this movement called repatriation to Africa or going back to Africa. It's a willful sacrifice. All these circumstances of death in the Gambia feels and seems like a willful sacrifice. She goes on to say, Black X will not gossip or speculate on each transition that has happened here recently, because we have been informed of different circumstances and different reasons for each passing of our fellow sisters, married and unmarried, some of which have been health related. Some families choose with respect to keep the reasons for transition private and would respect their wishes, and we respect their wishes. Black X is working with an investigative journalist to establish facts before issuing a public statement regarding this week's reported events. Any issues you may have surrounding SM reports, please email her at info@blackxhome.com. So this is the response of SHAKINA CHINEDU being murdered. She did not have a health issue. She was found in a pit covered with dirt, face and head bashed in, pride crushed. But this is what you call Pan-African talk. What's up, Success Express? What's up, Chat Lives Matter? You said Gambian authorities say it was someone from Sierra Leone. How convenient. Yeah, they deliberately said that. He could have been very well Gambian for all we know, but I'll accept he was an African, whomever it was. It was an African. It was not someone from the United States. It was not someone from the UK. It was not, supposedly fighting among the diaspora. It was an actual African that did this to SHAKINA. You said in movement, people are calling this tragedy the curse of Black X. It is. This is the curse. This is some wicked underling happenings regarding these deaths of these women. There are some unprovoked and sinister activities that are happening between, what is going on with the murder of SHAKINA, and also the deaths of 5 other American women. And just the response of Black X to just post that. Again, she's been having this woman in her presence. They were at some point like dealing with one another. Maybe they didn't end on better terms, but still, this is what you do and say when someone that's supposedly the face of repatriation, you go and do just a post. Now, I want to show a video of SHAKINA when she was really advocating for this repatriation. Again, I don't believe in this go back to Africa. It is a self-fulfilling, I believe, sacrifice to Africa and to their gods and to whatever they're into. And that's just my perception, because nothing good comes from what has been going on in Africa. People that visit there can go back and forth. Yeah, they have some success because they're not staying in Africa. But when you stay in Africa and you learn how it really is, like Anja Africa had described to us, how it really is for single women, how you really are sought after, harassed, followed, how men see you as a woman, then you start realizing this so-called notion of we all can have unity and stuff. It is far-fetched cry from that reality. You said they fell out big time a long time ago. Yeah, they fell out a big time, long time ago, but you would not at least say, you know, my condolences, rest in peace to her. It's a tragedy what has happened to her, something along those lines. But yeah, let's look at when SHAKINA was really doing her thing with this so-called repatriation.
You forgot a group of people that need citizenship here. Now, what about the group of Africans, over 100 million of them, that were taken away over 400 years ago? What has happened to those descendants? Some of those descendants have returned home, but we're not welcomed as Africans. We're seen as British, American, Caribbean, South American, other people, but we are Africans. Why are we not considered in the Constitution also? My ancestors came from Africa, particularly West Africa, but we are not spoken about. We are the forgotten children of Africa. But through people like myself and others that are here, who have come home by choice, even though we were born in other places, we've come back by choice. We are building here. We are supporting Gambia. We are spending money here. We are helping to develop the country, but we are not considered as Africans. We are not considered as Gambians. I have to carry an alien's card.
Just think, she just did all this building on her land, a house and whatnot. Who is it going to go to now? Who can trust going over there now? Because other things could happen behind her death and people feel some kind of way about her land in the first place. She was the woman that was, you know, fighting off different people from wanting to take away land from people that have bought land from people. And there's a lot of controversy behind SHAKINA, which, you know, Kiki Loves Nigeria is going to go into that further later. But this is the face of repatriation. So somehow she was not regarded, you know, to this guy that murdered her as anything special. But a lot of people use this woman as the face of repatriation. She went around talking about this talk. Let's go.
I'm not an alien. I'm an African. But I have to carry this card in my purse. Every year, I have to go and re-register.
This is exactly what Black X used to say, you know, crying, fake crying about, you know, she's considered an alien. She wants to belong to Africa. She wants her identity upgraded to African and all this type of jazz. A lot of them that come from UK was on this. They have a clear-cut agenda about so-called repatriation, and they are gung-ho, hoping not to have it mess up under no circumstance. That's why Black X is taking her sweet little time saying something about this murder. But you got to say something, Black X, because she's not going to go away. These videos are not going to go away. Your silence is going to be pronounced more after this video.
3,000 jealousies and be proud to call myself an alien. I'm not proud to call myself an alien because I was always told by my parents that I'm African. And now that I've returned home, I have to now convince the Gambian government to consider me in the constitution. I shouldn't have to do.
Again, talking about change in the Constitution, trying to ad-lib other people that may not even want to be ad-libbed in that situation. There are Pan-Africans that are talking about, you know, Americans' identity. There's a whole lot of debate about our identity. And then you have these Pan-Africans pushing, oh, we're not aliens. Oh, we are real Africans. We belong to Africa. See the clash? Already, there's a clash of identity, and the crises that they claim we have as Americans is because we don't want to change our identity from American to now being called African. That is what is going on with this tug of warring on YouTube because of the likes of SHAKINA, Black X, and others that think that they have the right to try to change our identity or try to make us, remix us to African against our will. So this lady, unfortunately, I would have, if I would have paid attention to her, if I would have known her more, I wouldn't have really rocked with her like that, because I would have felt like she was against me as an American who has a right to have a self-identity, which I choose to claim my own as Indigenous Black American. And I don't want people trying to tell me I'm part of the diaspora. Where is my home country at? I don't have a home country in Africa. I'm not from Africa. So, you know, there's an issue right there. That's why I have an issue with Pan-Africans, and that's why I speak out against them, because they speak like this.
Just this week I was speaking to my dad, and he says, you shouldn't have to be fighting for this because you are an African. But I said, Dad, the colonized mind is still telling the Africans that I'm something else. So it's the education that's needed to let people know that I am an African too. Now, when in the 1960s we fought for independence, our founding fathers talked about uniting Africans on the continent and Africans on the diaspora. And today in 2018, going into 2019, we're still having to talk about this conversation. We shouldn't have to. Now, this constitution is being rewritten, and there should be an exception clause in there. An exception clause to talk about the lost children of Africa coming home through people like me and through people like my colleagues and my friends that are here.
But
now, I have been to the Constitution Review Committee. I have stated my case there, and I'm waiting.
So she's running game on trying to go to court to fight for this notion that she's African, trying to springboard this conversation to affect other people such as myself in America. And that's the meddling of UK, the meddling that they tried to do. This meddling of SHAKINA as well, trying to, like, you are who you were. You know, you were born in the UK, you have Caribbean descent, that's who you are. People trying to remix and rewrite what is, you know, it is a globalist agenda to me. It is trying to colonize Black Americans is another way of going, the backdoor way of doing so. Again, repatriation, face of repatriation is the one that got murdered. And she put in a lot of time of this type of talk and this type of, you know, what she felt, the utopia of Africa, the meaning of Africa, you know, belonging to Africa. We Africans, we all get along, we're all the same. And then she gets murdered by a Sierra Leonean random worker, young man that just took her out for over 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds is all it took to take this lady's life out. Okay. And this so-called utopia of Africa does not exist. It's going to get a lot worse because there's desperate times for calls for desperate measures. People are desperate out here. They see you have, they want. You're a vulnerable woman, you're going to get got. We see these other deaths that have happened seem very eerily wicked, like poisonings might have happened. People getting set up and whatnot might have happened. Just all kinds of things that I'm sure if these ladies were alive, they would love to tell us, but they can't now tell us the true reality of Africa, because a lot of them have been walking around lying about the reality of Africa. First, they come to Africa and they have the nicest things to say about it. This unity, dancing about and prancing about, dancing in the dirt with the drums playing in the background and all that. But after a year or two, and you settling in, more times than not, you start having issues. This lady happened to be there for like 7 years. So she is a veteran when it comes to this so-called movement, this repatriation movement. About 7 years, she gave her life towards this movement. And what did it get her in the end? 60 years old, taken out like that. Now, what's going to happen to her property? Who is going to have control over her property and what she was into and doing? I mean, is it going to go back to the government? Are they going to seize it? All that work and all that toil that she put in 7 years to get cut short like that. Okay, yes, this is, it truly is a heartless response, movement. Chat Lives Matter. Liberia had civil war in 1989, did they? Didn't have to be here running wild. Good morning, how you doing? What's up, Sassy Ears, how you doing? So yeah, this is a big blow. And I'm kind of happy the blow happened, but I wish it didn't happen like this. I wish that she didn't have to get murdered for it to be revealed that this is not the right movement for us. Even I have a little bit of sympathy for the situation at hand, because no one deserves to die like that. For £1,000, she died. She brutally got killed and disrespected, thrown in a waste pit, treated like trash like that. And Black X thinks that it's appropriate just to put a post, just like Sisters International think it's appropriate to just put a post, not a video, not no, now you need to do like a community meeting. There should be all kinds of videos where people are gathering together to talk about the safeties that's needed for, the women, the single women that are in the Gambia. There should be like an emergency response, not this little pity-patty bullshit that they're doing. You said the compound will be looted for materials. Yup. All that work, though. All that work. Here she is.
Waiting. But I'm also speaking to you as an opposition party to state our case on our behalf as well, to remind Gambians that there were lost Africans, many of them ripped away from the continent, stripped of their Africanness, their language, their names, their religion, everything, stripped away to their bare bones and given something else, not by choice, but by force. And we fought to bring down that nasty trade to be free Africans. And when we come home, we're still having to fight again. We shouldn't have to. I don't want to have to fight. Not for me, not for my children, not for my children's children. Something in law should say that when we come home, as the lost children of Africa, that we should be welcomed with citizenship, with a passport, with voting cards, Anthony, welcome.
And this is all that Pan-Africans think that we're worthy to have. Truth be told, they don't want us having our reparations. That's why Ghana's trying to put his dibs in on trying to take our reparations from us and call it, we all African. They're all in on the heist of our reparations. They're all in on the heist of anything attached to us. Pan-Africans have always been on the heist, on the lookout to try to see how they can maneuver and work around our freedoms. And now she's trying to attach herself to the Constitution, which would ad-lib and put other people that don't want to be involved. Again, Black Americans are not part of a diaspora. We don't have a home country. We don't belong to Africa, but yet we're being thrown into the pot. In the UK, people such as SHAKINA and Black X are instrumental in trying to argue that point for us against what we would want. Like they trying to take over and be our overlords and whatnot. So I don't care for Pan-Africans. I don't care for their agendas. I don't care for how their ideology is, because it's all, it's all fake. It's all just something that I don't want to be involved in, because they're trying to put us in a position to where we are bound to Africa against our will. Chat Lives Matter says, to play devil's advocate, women die like that in America every year. I think the real issue has to do with mass poverty in these African nations that are rich with resources. Oh yeah, I know what's causing the desperation of these men. Is the desperation is, we don't have, you have. We're gonna get what you got. You coming up over here, you're our bag. You're our opportunity. And unfortunately, these women, they are well-to-do more than the common folks of the Gambia. So eventually something's bound to happen. Something is bound to happen. Jealousy is bound to occur. Envy is bound to occur. And rage is bound to occur. Especially if you're doing better than most of these men feel like they should be doing. And I think that guy probably felt some kind of way about this woman walking around always fresh, not struggling to eat, not struggling to get to point A to point B, not struggling to, turn a key to open up a door to go inside to have, peace and harmony. He's probably living a really, poverty-stricken lifestyle. And then he sees her and is like, oh no, you're living better than I am living, and I'm from here. I'm from Africa. Who are you? You just got here. Repat promoters all about money. Yes, they are. I don't like this agenda that's going on, and they're trying to reset the agenda because it's flopped. They know that the vast majority of Black Americans don't care to go to Africa. We're not trying to change our identity, all because of a movement on social media. But Black X and the likes of SHAKINA and others that are slow to talk, like the Bag family and others, so-called Pan-Africans, they're acting as if, this is going to blow over and that they can just maintain a happy impression about Gambia. And this is a big stain, a blood stain, when it comes to thinking about going to Gambia. I'm sorry, but it's true.
So please, Gambians, if you're asked to consider citizenship in the Constitution, please remember your lost ancestors that are now returning home, through people like myself.
Yeah, she returned home all right. She definitely returned, but she ended the way in which I'm sure she never saw coming. But Pan-Africans are going to be slow to speak. I did find a couple of people speak up, one being Art Cathy. Now, Art Cathy had a bit of a rant about the circumstances. She didn't really want to say names, but you have to listen to how she speaks around it. There was a controversy over her name being pulled in with the scandals of so-called land fraud and stuff like that, scams and whatnot, that she was supposedly partaking in with others, such as Kwesi Boyd and SHAKINA was also, I guess, a part of that, and the Black X was a part of that. They were infighting about who was to blame for all the scamming that was going on. And so she has her point of view.
So much for the support. I want to spill some tea right now so bad, but I'm not. But if you know me, if you know, you know. God is in control. My ancestors hear prayers. Divine vindication is here. Cat Williams, I hold the spirit of Cat Williams right now. Everybody had to say about me. If you got people that try to bring you down and defeat you and shit, and that almost ruined your life, and you pray to God and wonder, God, are you just gonna let my enemies win? And you say, don't worry about letting that bitch, don't let no bitch take you to court. Don't worry about that court. Don't let nobody make you spend your money in court. Handle it with social justice or even spiritual justice. Because when spiritual justice hit, oh, it's so much great. It's so much sweeter, honey. People that's trying to fuck you up, people that tried to fuck me up years ago and trying to fuck up my name, the very few people and shit that I prayed to God. I said, what kind of religion do I have if I can't go get these motherfuckers now? But if you know, you know. Every single one of these people are starting to fall. And the truth is going to be exposed.
So she didn't have a problem with, you know, Gambia going down the drain because she felt like she was scapegoated in the controversies that surrounding land grabs and land scams and all kinds of stuff that was going on. A lot of people's money, though, was lost. A lot of people were pointing fingers everywhere at various people. And so she's trying to let it be known that SHAKINA was instrumental in her being called out as being a scammer herself.
Ocean, Ifa, Kathy, whoever you want to call on. Like the song say, Alhamdulillah, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Dios, Ma'as, Jah, Rastafari, Fire, Dead. Baby, all of them, they will come to save you. And I thought they had all turned their back on me, but I have seen lately that the justice, spiritual justice is so much sweeter when people have tried to shit on you. Don't do nothing. Don't take them to court. I was being told by my elders, don't do all that. Don't let these motherfuckers take your money, take them to court and shit. No, spiritual justice. And baby, when you see it working, you get to shout, ooh, yes. Bring them down, one by one. Down, bitches, down, bitches, down, bitches. Somebody else's sorrow is my victory. And if you know, you know. Let me get the fuck up out of here, honey, because I really do have that spirit Cat Williams. Motherfuckers tried to bring me down for the last motherfucking few years. And the very people that tried to do it, they are no longer here. They are fucked up, and now they scrambling. Don't scramble down. Because until you do right by me, until you do right by the people in expats, money that was scammed away, until you do right by me, every single person in your camp that stole that motherfucking money, you're not gonna be able to keep glaring on me, bitches. Oh, you hoes really thought you were gonna get away with that shit? Oh, no. No, I woke up rejoicing. Ooh, get him. The honor, the one who checked my books and saw that I had done no wrong. The very people that was on the team, and I had to find out years later, oh, I was the fool. I didn't catch it. Oh, all y'all motherfuckers was in cahoots, but you used my name. You used my name in the trust that you were what you didn't do? People, if you've ever been accused of something heinous like rape or something like that, it don't matter if you're exonerated or nothing like that, that shit still stays with you. And yet it's still, I have had grace over a few years. But baby, look at them scrambling. Oh, don't call me now. Sit there and get your justice. Sit there and get your spiritual justice. Because you had years to come out and clear my name. Because all of y'all knew y'all stole all that money. And it was so convenient. I was the sacrificial lamb. It was so easy to say, oh, art scam. I didn't scam nobody, bitch. I was motherfucking confused. I'm like, what? Oh, these people are doing this behind my back? Oh, the trusted black man that I love so much? I ain't want to spray everybody because the truth of the matter was I would have to say that, damn, I just got by the very people that I've been riding for. I wasn't in no relationship with nobody. I wasn't fucking nobody. But people will put all kind of shit on you. When you doing this type of shit, people got all kind of preconceived notions about me. They try to harass and bully me sun up and sun down. Y'all don't know what it takes to be me, do this stuff. Oh, I just heard about this. Is this true about you? Keep reading. Keep reading. But read the obituaries too. Start putting pieces together. Because motherfuckers are getting real nervous now. No, I'm going to be just like damn Sealy. Until you do right by me, every person in that motherfucking cursed country and everybody that has something to do with it, you're going to fall. You will continue to fall. And I rejoice because none of you motherfuckers was here when you stole from my mama, you stole from me, and you stole from all the expats. So now you want to make it hard, so now I'm doing my thing again. People can't even trust me because of that bullshit. No, honey, keep that damn shit. Because I hope the stories stay because you'll finally see the truth. Oh, it's being exposed. The real scammers are being taken out. The real people that was the robbers and cheaters, oh, they're being exiled. They're being exposed. My ancestors just don't have time to play with you. We didn't have time to do, and you're not going to take no money from me taking you to court and shit like that.
So it was assumed by, well, she's saying that basically SHAKINA was partaking in scamming. She is calling herself, defending her name. You know, that she didn't want to name names, but if you know the situation and the relations that Art Kathy had with everybody that's there in the Gambia and how things fell apart, how people started going crazy with scamming all over the place and everybody was pointing fingers at everybody. Black X, Quasi Boy, Art Kathy, SHAKINA, and others, I believe, were involved. This Pan-African talk has always been centered around, you know, scamming or defrauding somebody, causing them to have to go to court most of the time. I believe Tay says she lost $16,000 trying to, you know, have investment on something. And that investment just got took. Just that easy. And so she's speaking her truth in a kind of a rant. But again, this Pan-African talk, this repatriation talk, our Kathy now is doing it in Ghana. Again, she's revamping herself. She went to Rwanda, now she's in Ghana, trying to do the same thing with property, I guess now. A whole host of things. But again, I don't rock with any of them.
I don't know nothing, but I gave my own money to certain investors that I knew. I didn't even know how many it was. If I told you the amount that was taken behind my back, baby, it's gonna be juicy. Like, bitch, what? And I had to suffer for years with anger sitting in my heart and my stomach. Almost took me out. But not no more, because vindication. Thank God for vindication. I don't give a fuck. Somebody that try to ruin your name and steal money from you and what you doing and put you in the dark, when you see justice come, you don't feel shit. You just start, you know, matter of fact, I start getting my bowl and flicking for my ancestors like, bam, woo, get it, dum, 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 get them. Say that shit. Fuck my whole family up got me looking at me crazy to hear thousands of people. Y'all need to make videos to have clickbait so you can make some money off me. But keep them up.
Again, she wanted to say a lot, but she kept it for the ones that know about the controversy because she didn't want to give it life. But she was not saddened about SHAKINA passing, obviously. She feels like SHAKINA ruined her. And she feels like that she's more or less the one that was the King Bee scammer. That's what she's trying to imply. So it's very interesting how everything is affixed to scamming when it comes to Pan-African talk. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. And now the lady's gone. SHAKINA, CHINEDU, rest in peace to her. I guess justice is somewhat been met if this guy really is the perpetrator in this crime. But the repatriation talk doesn't make sense right now. And they're scrambling to try to bring it back to life. And there's really no way of bringing it back to life, in my opinion. Let me see. I wanted to play, somebody talked about the guy that got arrested. Hold on, let me get this video real quick. Fair use of videos, by the way, for educational purposes, for research purposes, observational purposes under 107. Yes, let's get to this.
Let's carry on with the recording. Here's what else to say.
Yeah, we got him. Just come from the police station. I saw him. Some little 2-foot tall, nothing, Sierra Leone, bleach skin. You know, the 80,000 her daughter's brought over from the UK for her 60th birthday. He killed her for £1,000, uncle. They found it in his house. £1,000. They found $80,000 in my tri-city in Italy. We said, we ain't got 80,000 in our front room, so we're not Gambian. We're not Sierra Leoneans. He killed her for £1,000. I blame the government. They got the people like slaves.
Okay, so the sister described the man.
Okay, so that's the story with the guy that murdered SHAKINA. Now I want to play a response by a lady that I believe is a Pan-African. What's her name? Royalty. Let me find it. Because there are a couple of responses that have come out, just not the top people have talked about it. The ones that are supposedly the leaders in this movement, like Black X, is not speaking out, eerily not speaking, but leaving a lame ass post.
I definitely do not want people to be afraid to go to Africa. Africa has been good to me, yet Africa has been challenging, but Africa has been good to me, and Africa is ready to be good to you. But you.
So before she even talks about the death, she's talking and squawking about Africa. Like I said, it's a self-willing or willful sacrifice that you are doing, in my opinion, towards Africa. This notion of utopia of Africa, one by one, y'all getting plucked, financial ruin, plucked, homeless, plucked, missing, plucked, deceased, plucked, scammed, plucked, one by one by one by one. Oh, God. Lord.
It is Aisha Diamond. So it's been a while since I have came on here, but I called today to give my condolences and to talk about this issue very briefly, where our Queen Sisters has fallen. Whenever you all don't see me, just know I'm on a mission always. Rest in peace to every Queen Sister that has fallen. They are now ancestors. So the only reason I didn't put it in category for as African Americans, this, that, or however, because number one, we are one. We are one.
So after being murdered, you still talking about we are one. Like I said, they are truly, truly hypnotized. They're truly, truly a part of a cult. This is truly, truly a wicked, wicked movement, in my opinion. People are expendable, apparently, when it comes to Africa. You are expendable. Oh, well, you passed away. We are one Africa.
And number two, to focus on a certain group of people that has fallen. Here lately, we want to emphasize on African Americans fallen, being deleted in Africa. But I come to tell you today, it is more than just African Americans being deleted in Africa. More than African Americans being deleted all around the world. You all, when it comes to the beautiful smiling coast of Africa, which is still my paradise, because
still her paradise. Now, when she has a doomsday occurrence, this video I probably will play. She better hope and pray she don't have a doomsday, because this will be the video that I will play. Again, putting so much emphasis and faith in a place that has never, ever done nothing for you, but swallowed you up and spat you out. You have to go back and forth to America, to Africa, to even be able to do what you do. But yet you're acting as if your final destination is Africa. But again, the way in which people are making money is selling this bullshit to Black Americans, more or less. Traveling, tours, doing all these things, land, build a house, start a business, anything to try to get you ensnared into the notion of repatriation. And again, many people are meeting their doomsday once they settle in, or once they attempt to settle, once they attempt to build, once the construction is done, something always comes up. These deaths of the 5 women, American women, are some of the various suspicious types of deaths. Again, ain't no telling if poisoning was involved in some of that. People are trying to call it health problems, but I don't believe so. And again, some of these ladies had property, they had land, so it doesn't measure up to the so-called argument that more or less these people came sickly. A lot of people are trying to just say that the woman came to die in Africa, which doesn't make sense if you're trying to build in Africa. Okay, let's go.
You must remember, Africa is not perfect, but Gambia is not perfect. There are criminals in the Gambia, criminals in Ghana, criminals in Ivory Coast, criminals in America, criminals in Paris, criminals in London.
But we're talking about Gambia. Stay on topic. Stay focused. Again, diminishing the effects of the death of SHAKINA. Very disrespectful, especially coming from a Pan-African, like somebody like me that doesn't care for Pan-Africans. Yeah, I can understand me not having an emotional connection to the lady, but this woman probably knows personally SHAKINA. They probably have broke bread together. They probably had been at a function together. It's more personable. It should be, but it's not appearing to be, because they don't care. They only care about the agenda of repatriation. And they have given their whole lot of thinking and faith into the notion of this movement. Again, telling us that this is the way in which we're going. Many of us don't believe in this repatriation movement, but that's what they're backing, and this is what the emphasis seems to stay on.
Criminals all over the world. But however, we have to realize that our people is falling all over the world. Definitely making news in Africa. For some reason, when African Americans fall in America, it's not a big deal. But when they fall in Africa,
can you guys believe this? But when they fall in Africa, is a big. Well, let's listen to that again. Such stupidity. Unbelievable. Let's listen to that again.
But however, we have to realize that our people is falling all over the world. Definitely making news in Africa. For some reason, when African Americans fall in America, it's not a big deal. But when they fall in Africa, it's a big deal.
Talking about having some empathy, sympathy. Where was it? Wow. So when they fall in Africa, it's a big deal, but not in America. Well, Africa's foreign to us. That is not our home. You guys are selling the notion that Africa is our home, and it's just not true. Because we're being treated the same way, if not worse, going to Africa. That is the truth. The same way, if not worse. The same way, if not worse.
I don't know if you all have heard, but here lately it has been Gambian women losing their lives. It's been a lot going on. Rest in peace to all. I like to say this.
Seven Galley, does she seem like she's been tearful about the death? Doesn't look a bit tearful about the death. And I'm sure that they broke bread before. What's up, Seven Galley? She says she sounds like she's on her way to a celebration. And yeah, they always be partying. Nonchalant attitude and inserting African images to manipulate the minds of the weak people. She is a piece of shit. Exactly. I don't like this fake bitch right here. What's up, Kiki? How you doing? And that's why it continues. Yup. Chat Lives Matter says there is zero compassion. I've been checking out these responses, and with the exception of you and Kiki Loves Nigeria, these folks are basically walking on the graves of these women for clout. Yeah. Thank you for that. Miss D says she don't care. She's loyal to the cult. Right. They supposed to be our brother and sister. This is a cult, y'all. It is a cult. That's the truth that we have uncovered, that Pan-Africanism or some of these people are part of a secret cult, and they're going to protect their mission above anything else. Anything else. You said, Genuine says, it seems like many are making contracts with hell, the devil, and the grave. Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like that.
When we prepare for Africa, we have to continue to be careful like we do when we in America. We will go distance to be careful in America, but then when we go to Africa, we just so freely to hook up with the criminals. Y'all, when you go to Africa, you have to be careful.
She said you hooked up with the criminals. What? She hooked up with the criminals. Is that what SHAKINA did, according to her?
Who you connect with. You have to be careful. The criminals in Africa may not look like the criminals in America. So it is good for us to be able to connect with good resources and genuine people when we make it to Africa.
This is just weird, y'all. Look at this. The imagery of trying to get us to believe that we're supposed to be in the hands of the black golden hands of the bronze colored man. Oh my God.
Fortunately, everybody do not be blessed to do that. And some people go down the wrong roads. Some people will isolate themselves when they get to Africa. And then they isolate themselves from certain people, but then they connect with the criminals. Y'all, there is people all over the world, especially in tourism places. They ready to target the tourists because they know you don't know. You need them. That is true. We need our continent-born sisters and brothers.
After being killed, now we need our continental brothers and sisters. Wait a minute. Hold up. After being deleted, we still need our continental brothers and sisters. This is her response, y'all. This is crazy.
But then they connect with the criminals. Y'all, there is people all over the world, especially in tourism places. They ready to target the tourists because they know you don't know. You need them. That is true. We need our continent-born sisters and brothers when we make it to the continent. We need them. We can't.
This is insane. We're talking about 6 women who have died suspiciously. We need our continental brothers and sisters. They are targeting tourists, but we need our continental brothers and sisters. Do you guys hear this? Wow.
Breathe without them. We can't move without them. But for most, we need the Almighty by our side. I realize that it is not the ancestors. Rest in peace to all the beautiful ancestors all over the world. But it's not the ancestors that protecting us. It is the creator of this world, the creator of existence. And we call him Allah. He is the one that's protecting us. It's not, now, he may be using our ancestors for our angels, but he is giving assignments to ancestors, to angels, to he is the creator, he's the owner of the world. So he is the one that's protecting us. So you all need to stop with this. It's the ancestors that's doing all the work. It's not the ancestors, huh? Let me say that. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to encourage people when it comes to the beautiful motherland. Stop.
So in the midst of 6 deaths, she wants to encourage y'all, Africa, if you don't think this woman has been hexed or hypnotized or a part of a cult, I don't know what else to tell you. That is the weirdest response, to keep talking about returning in Africa. Africa, we are one. We need the continental brothers and sisters after being deleted by a so-called brother of a continental Africa. I mean, what kind of response was that? You guys want to hear the end of that? Yeah, she just did it for views. There's a lot of people all of a sudden interested in every death now that's going on in the Gambia. All of a sudden, people are, wanting to put a response in because it's helping the algorithm for their clicks and views. The true people that really did this was Kiki Loves Nigeria. She did an awesome job. There was hardly nobody in the chat room listening to her while all these deaths were described and discussed in full detail. And now suddenly after the 5th death, everybody's coming out of the woodworks like roaches, trying to sop up, what they can. But the real people that should be speaking, which is the head people, Black X, Sisters International, and Professor Smalls, Jabari, Sonetta TV hasn't said nothing. So many other people have not said anything and spread awareness about these deaths and warnings to the single woman that is partaking and going and trusting and going to Africa, because they still want to maintain the lie, the illusion that you are also belonging there in Africa. But just like I said, I'm always going to bring Anja Africa up. She has some things that were important to state about what women go through. And part of the Smoke and Mirrors in Gambia, she discusses what that entails in a little bit. Let's listen to this. Hold on.
She stole one of my skirts. One day I came home, my neighbors is downstairs like, yo, are these yours? Like, the stuff blew off the terrace. I'm like, what the hell's my clothes? All I gave you to do was laundry 1 day a week, and I'm not giving you a lot because I'm washing my own underwear, right? So I don't understand what the problem is. All you gotta do is the laundry. You got the patio view of the ocean. You could sit here and just relax. So one day I was sick and I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling her. I don't want her to come back. So I called her. I said, listen, don't come to work. I'm not feeling well. I'm not sure if I have a cold or what. So she came anyway. She got here. I gave her 100 Delasi and I told her, do not come back. Yes, girl, the neighbor telling me that my stuff done blew off the porch. And mind you, it's a brother. A Rastafarian brother who lived downstairs. He happened to be down in the garden and was like, MJ, is this yours? Is this yours? So her story was the water wasn't running. The water pressure when we first moved in wasn't working properly. So she had to carry all the laundry downstairs to wash it. So she must have left.
She's right now talking about one of her workers that she had, but she's about to talk about a harasser guy. I wanted to get to that part, but yeah, she's talking about a worker she had to let go, and then she's going to get to the part where I want you guys to listen to.
A few pieces when she was down there washing, or it blew off the terrace. You had one job to babysit my clothes. And y'all know I love my clothes. I only bought certain pieces with me, so I know when something's missing. Everything else is in the store, but I know what I brought with me. She had the nerve to call me, can she come work at the store? When am I going to call her to work? I said, when you turn my dress. I even sent her the video with the dress on it. Exactly. Carried it to the hideout. Y'all know what time it is. So I'm telling y'all these stories because this is real. This is real. And let's talk about, can we talk about the stalkers? Because I had a stalker, y'all.
I want y'all to listen. She had a stalker. She's been having stalkers.
When I was living at that crazy lady's house, one day I was going out to the beach. And this woman says to me, the old lady, somebody came here at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for you. I'm like, what? Who? Ain't nobody coming looking for me. I don't know nobody here. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. This man came from the beach, was asking where the American live at, right? Because you pass all these people, so everybody know who you are. And they pointed him to the compound. So he come knocking on the gate talking about he looking for me. I don't know you. I do not know him. So I didn't know who she was talking about, but I had a feeling I knew who it was. No sooner than I thought I knew who it was. This person was going to my business partner. This person goes to my business partner and says to the juice guy that I was talking about before, I don't know if y'all remember, but he went to my business partner and said, don't let her know that you know me. Because he got a UK girlfriend, he got a from the US, and he got somebody from Holland, and I guess I was supposed to be number 4. So he was telling him, don't let her know you know me. And so my business partner.
This is important, y'all, because this is how single women are being sought after. It is not safe in Gambia. Anja Africa is revealing the truth about how single women are left unprotected and random men are seeking women out to do whatever they desire to do. Listen.
It's like, you know, I'm going to tell you. He said, that man is no good. I'm like, but we was just saying hello. Hey, blooming woman. Greetings. Yeah, weird. Stalker type stuff. Yes. But the interesting thing is, because folks know that I don't talk to people, certain ones will approach me, and they are usually older and think that they're more mature and that they're going to somehow get to me. Right? So in the beginning, I wasn't talking to anybody, so they didn't associate me with anybody. So if they think you're a single woman, they will start stalking you like they pushing up. They're going to be aggressive with it. Yeah. So I told my business partner to this day says, dude is still asking for me. I saw him one day when I was in a truck in Senegambia, and I just kind of turned my head. So, yeah. I don't even want him to see me to say hello because I don't want to have to curse this man out. Then I wish I could read y'all this text message, but I got y'all on the line. Somebody came into the store. A friend sent him there. No, you know what? I got something easy for you, Audrey. Here's the trick.
But this is not what we need to be talking about. according to what Pan-Africans are talking on Africa. Mother Africa, we are one. We belong to Africa. Come to Africa. Keep that going, yo. Even though deaths have happened, who cares? Talk about it. Talk about it. But Anja Africa talked the truth about it. She revealed the truth about it.
Wear a wedding band. Wear a band. Once you say you married, people will back off. It's the strangest thing, right? Because, you know, in the States, they'd be like, yeah, you married, but is he married? No. They do respect relationships. And people even say they're married when they're not married, okay? So let me tell you about this crazy man. So the man that was supposed to sell me the signs had a friend. He sends his friend to the shop. He telling me he worked for the government. So, you know, I'm always looking for contacts. We can do business if we can't do nothing else. So the man comes on Men in Black. You know how they had the little heads when they had the suits on? Yeah. Like he was a little boy, but his head didn't catch up to his body. So he had to be like in his 40s, right? So he comes into the shop. He's telling me that he works with sometimes he works with the FBI and fraud prevention, all of that. Look, Nova said something else. She said it ain't working. So he comes in and he says to me what I should be doing with my business, that he can see this business going places and I need to open up shops here, there, and the other place and all of this. And I'm just looking at him. So I'm like, you said you work for the government, right? So if you got all these bright ideas, how is it you telling me what I need to do with my business? But I just listen. I let him talk. Mind you, I'm on the phone. I'm still posting. I'm still doing what I'm doing. So we leave. I lock up this door, and I said, he's standing there. So I'm like, do you need a ride? Because my driver's there to get me. So he said, yeah, I'm going in your direction. So, you know, people always give people rides. Thank you. I don't mean to be, but yeah, it was abnormal. It was abnormal. So he jumps in the cab with us, and then there's so much traffic that my driver decides to take the back way instead of going the way that he needs to go. So we get real close to where he needs to go, and then my driver says to him, listen, I'm going to take the back way, so you probably should get out here. So why does my driver take it upon himself to take out $10? Now, y'all know $10 ain't no money, but my driver takes out the $10 and says, here, take a cab, but I didn't see him do that. This man could not grab the $10 quick enough. But you're a government worker. So when my driver tells me after we pull off that he gave him the money, I said to him, why you give him money? He worked for the government. He said, you know those government workers don't have no money. That's just what he said to me. So he took the $10, he jumps, he takes a cab. So I haven't heard from him since, right?
At Sutter, our 12,000 doctors never stop listening.
Kayak compares both rental car and car sharing sites to help you save money. Download the Kayak app now.
Haven't heard from him since. So I'm getting these messages every morning. Good morning, honey. Good morning, sweetie. So I'm like, okay, he done lost his mind. So I just block him. So then I send out the flyers for the artist, and he responds, good morning, baby. So I'm like, okay, maybe you're confused. I sent you the flyer for the art show. Why are you saying good morning, baby? Do you know who this is? And he says, yeah, I know who this is. I'm like, I don't think you do, because if you did, you wouldn't be saying baby. You'd be calling me by my name. So he says, I need you in my life. That's what he said. So I said, no, sweetie, you want me in your life. You are looking for a bank or someone to care for you, and I'm not that person. And I was like, and before you express your intentions for someone, you might want to find out if the feeling is mutual. So he says, okay. And then not even 2 minutes later, he says, I love you. You know, I blocked him again. Time, stop.
Again, the queen of cautionary tales tells what women, single women, are going through in the Gambia, how they're being sought after. It's very eerie. what could have happened to Angela, what could have happened to all the others that mysteriously passed away, and then the obvious murder of SHAKINA, and how these people that are Pan-Africans does not have a proper response when it comes to a murder, let alone 6 women deceased in the Gambia. They all know each other. They all hung out with each other. They all have functions together. They all talked about this Pan-African talk. They all talked about this repatriation talk. And all you could do is talk about Africa, we are one, as a response. Don't let this stop you from coming. Still come. We welcome you still. This is the response. Paid trolls in here, yes, I see. A whole lot of people. How y'all doing? For all the little trolls, can y'all please hit the like button? That would be greatly appreciated. You said I'm very careful with how much of myself I put online. Jenny Quick says, yeah, you gotta be. And Peacemaker says, okay, they're on right now. Yeah. Why carry birthday money from SHAKINA's house to an unfinished compound with the workmen in the car with her? Is that what happened? Oh, wow. How you doing, Ivy? And you said, Genuine says, many of these women are bored and old, trying to find an identity that is not theirs. These women should have been teaching us to move with wisdom. Exactly. Acceptance of self. This confusion all of a sudden of who we are, and it's caused and created by Pan-Africans. It's caused and created by them. Jenny Quick says, wish they gave us more space to chat. Okay. So much waste of energy and time to fight for land and have no backup. Not wise at all, Genuine says. Yep. Jenny Quick says, them as parents in the Gambia, which does not make sense to me because someone offline has told me a different story. That it is all I will say. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. That's what Selma Gavi says. Jenny Quick says, Africa is telling everybody their kids can run around free with no supervision and they can hire a lady to come and cook and clean for them. And how is so much easier for. Okay, let's see. Yes, shaking my head. Who wants to live like that? Spiritual battles daily for the rest of our life. Bull is shitty life. To each their own. That's my opinion. And Kiki says, liar and king womanizer. I believe the lady on the voice clip, Molly Morris, it acts like a two-faced female. I don't know who that is. SHAKINA was colonized preaching that noise. Exactly. So rest in peace to her. I really don't like the way she went. I wish that women would never be treated like that. But obviously someone can have that much rage. And that young man definitely despised her on some level for him to do what he did to her. And it's just messed up that the Black X doesn't do a video. She doesn't want to deal and face the reality that this is a dangerous situation for single Black women. It should be a warning, to a cautionary tale warning that if you are single and you're from the Western Hemisphere, you probably need to avoid Gambia. That's my opinion. And others can come back and say, oh, she's preaching, don't go to Africa. Yeah, I am. Sure am. And I have all the proof that keeps coming in why we should not be impressed with Africa like people are trying to train us to be, you know, using brainwashing technique and gaslighting people and just making up stuff as you go. Let me see, what else can I had one more video I wanted to play. Okay, is this the one? Sarah name. Be wise. Here's another response. I believe she's another Pan-African. And again, just listen to how hypnotized sounding they sound when they talking about Africa. It's as if they're given an oath. It feels like they have given an oath towards this notion of Pan-African talk. It's really, really bizarre. Hold on.
And the deaths of the women that are in Gambia. And I'm going to be focusing on the diasporan women, but there are many women from all over the world who have been murdered or have had suspicious deaths within the Gambia within the last 9 months. Going back further, a year would be 10 or 12 women. And I just don't want to focus on Gambia. I want you to know that globally, African diasporan women are encountering the same types of situations, met with the same end of life situations. Some are being targeted, some are being vocal and strong. These women are highly educated, so of course they can be boisterous and adamant about voicing their opinions on certain things and stating their cases and also letting their voices be heard. And I think it's important not to marginalize these women because coming from a colonized state, dealing with systemic racism, institutional racism, and racial trauma, being put into a box and said that you are creating.
Doesn't she sound hypnotized, y'all? Doesn't she sound like she's reading a script? Doesn't she sound like she's very fake about this? It's not heartfelt, no emotion. Again, these people know one another. Most of them know one another because they're part of the same network or something, because it's Pan-African. But she does not have a lot of sympathy or concern or consideration for these women that have tragically died.
This circumstance because you're vocal and that you're very strong in your opinions of how you present certain things. So regardless of a person's ability to communicate their concerns or their experiences, certainly there is not an opportunity for them to be harmed. Although it does happen, that's not necessarily the way that things should be. So women are now the most educated group of human beings in the world. African women in particularly have the highest education rate. So you're going to have different types of women, with various backgrounds, education levels, coming into arenas, seeking opportunities, seeking to be able to share their knowledge, skills, and abilities. I myself was seeking an opportunity to feel culture, to feel and understand what it was like to have an identity. I was looking for
again, on a script for sure, talking about identity. Here we go again. This is the same rhetoric they're all indoctrinated to say. They continually, you go from one person to the next, they have the same key phrases that they're using. We are one, Mother Africa, diaspora, continental brothers and sisters, all this type of talk, repatriation, identity. Oh, my identity needs to be addressed. Oh, my identity. Oh, I'm under hypnosis. Oh, I can't think for myself. I'm a part of a cult now. I've been indoctrinated.
Connection to myself, to my roots, to my ancestors. I was looking for a connection to a place that my spirit could embrace and call home. So many are doing that, and many are traveling abroad. So it's not just a Gambia situation, but it is a global situation that Afro-diasporan women who are single travelers are experiencing challenges that many others will not experience or have not experienced. There is no different from being in America than traveling abroad. The diasporan woman still has a target on her back. But the only thing that troubles me is the inability for us to collectively come together and collaborate. Now,
again, we talking about 6 deaths, and she's talking about collaboration. She's talking about cooperation. She's still talking this talk. Again, they have no remorse or concern or consideration for the brutal death of SHAKINA and the other deaths of 5 American women. Rest in peace to all of them. No concern or sympathy, no compassion, just dried up. And this is the Queen so-called B, Black X. I guess I'm not saying it right. Black X, whatever it's called. This video she did with Wodi Maya about 4 years ago, talking about why all Blacks should move to Africa. This is, again, been the agenda for a long time. A long time. People are working in conjunction with other globalists behind the scenes, trying to, again, remix, try to make over our identities and trying to, again, make everything about Africa, which we're not in Africa. We're not in Africa.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Ghana, baby, right here in the smiling coast of Africa.
But when they talk about Africa, look how they get going.
By popular demand, you all want to see Juliet once again. I listen to you all the time, so I decided to go look for Juliet once again. You know what? Before I leave this country, I'm going to promise all of you that Juliet is now on YouTube. You need to congratulate me, man. Juliet now have a YouTube channel, and the name of this YouTube channel, I have no idea. She is going to tell us how it's awesome. Juliet, can you get that? You know what? Put me in trouble.
I did.
By saying England is a dump.
England is an absolute dump. It's a dump. And London is a dump. Oh my gosh, how did I get you into trouble?
Like my whole email, Instagram DM, everyone is reaching out to me. We want to see Juliet once again.
Oh.
Good to see you again.
Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
I told you that I'm going to get you.
Miss Big Bird herself, y'all. Again, she is also the head of this repatriation move. Both women from the UK, SHAKINA and her, similar type of vibration or motivation or movement or ideology. At some point, I think they had a big clash or fallout. I don't know the specifics about that. Hopefully, other reports will come out about what happened between them two. But they didn't end on friendly terms. So it's not a surprise that her post said what it said. But again, she is more focused in on this repatriation bullshit talk. They have always been the lead in this repatriation talk. And again, they're trying to attach that talk to Black Americans, whether we like it or not, through, orchestrating different platforms and forums that they use, and they talk about, they have celebrations of this and that and the other. They have gatherings to promote the identities of us being African. This woman right here was also instrumental in doing that. She still is, because she's still around. But her lackluster response about the death of SHAKINA is telling that there is no unity. Pan-Africanism is not real. They don't care about people. You are expendable. You are expendable.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
You said, what do you want to name your YouTube channel?
Blacksit.
And the reason behind the name is
because it's all about the Black exit from the Western countries and returning home. So it's about us as Black people globally coming back to the motherland. So Blacksit.
Juliet, you're smiling a lot. You look so happy. You look so free. Why? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm free. I'm free. I'm no longer in the West. I'm free of debt.
Talking about performance artists #1 right here. The Oscar goes to this bitch, witch right here. Again, something's going on with them. I believe they're part of a cult. In my opinion, they're wicked as fuck and cannot be trusted at all.
Free of burden, I'm free of racism, I'm free of discrimination, I'm free of, corporate control, I'm free of governmental control. I can be me. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to pretend to like you. So I can be me.
Like in the previous
Y'all want to know what fake is? This is fake all over the place.
interview, I asked you, do people in here like you? You said, no.
They love me. They do.
You know what? Let me know, because I'm in your compound.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is my compound.
No.
This is your compound.
Sure.
You live in large too in the Gambia.
Yeah, of course. You can live large here. For what? In England, if I was to rent a place like this, if I was to live in a place like this, I could not afford it. I just could not afford it. There's no way I could live in a place like this. And that is the beauty of coming to Africa. You can live, and people say, it's because you've got lots of money. It's not. It's a fraction of the cost. I mean, you could probably rent a 1-bedroom flat in England for what I rent a whole compound for. And a whole compound, this is 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, two kitchens. Let me get it right. 2 kitchens, 5 bathrooms, living area, also chill out areas, dining area.
Wow.
I mean, you can have a look around. You can have a look around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Take us around.
Okay, so that's just like the outside. Of course, anyone comes to stay, they stay there. The second kitchen is there. The other bathroom is there, and there's another bedroom there. Oh gosh, come on. Sorry.
Again, she made a lot of money off of this Pan-African talk. She was also accused of being a big scammer. A big controversy with SHAKINA, a big controversy with Black X, a big controversy with Art Cathy, Quasi Boyd, with all the so-called diasporans losing out on a lot of money. But she came up with her house. She came up. Nobody's been able to crack what's going on over at her spot. She got a lot of people backing her. She got a lot of people backing her.
This is Kath. This is Kath Ray, our son, who's 8. And this is my beautiful, wonderful, best husband in the whole wide world. My 8.
And of course, that's a lie. They're not together no more. So this is a video that's 4 years older. Okay, let's go.
Isn't that trick there? You see that? Love drunk. Celebrate our 5th anniversary in the Gambia. So this is like the courtyard, which goes all the way around here. So we sit down, drink ataya, and just chill out. But this is the view in the morning. I mean, have a look around. When you wake up to this, tell me you wouldn't be smiling.
No, you'll be smiling.
You'd be smiling.
All the time.
Exactly. In fact, you know, I saw a cupboard underneath the stairs
Exactly.
advertised for rent in Clapham in London. And it was £550 per month for the cupboard underneath the stairs in Clapham for rent. Yeah? Imagine.
And money?
Yeah. Imagine, instead of having a cupboard underneath the stairs, I have this compound. So where would you rather live? Where's the dump? Where's the dump? See if I'm telling the truth then. So ignore the mess because I wasn't expecting any visitors today, but these are the 2 spare bedrooms. We have spare bedrooms, guest bathroom, dining.
But again, they make money off of us. This is how they're able to live lavishly, off of selling us the dream of land and residential areas or investments, developments, all these types of things. They live lavishly in comparison to us. We lose out on so many possibilities with giving up so much money. And when there's a fraud or a scam involved, they still use your money and you are fighting in court, losing money as well, losing time, flying back and forth. Meanwhile, they live lavishly.
Living area. Kitchen, that's the second kitchen here. So that's where all of the best meals are cooked. We have a chill out area around here where we just chill. There's another bedroom here, storeroom here. That's another bedroom, and each bedroom has its own bathroom. Yeah, so we'll show you. Show them your bedroom, Gav. Go ahead. Go on.
So she's the big wig in the whole movement of repatriation to Africa. And she has not given a video for SHAKINA at all. She obviously had issues with their relationships in the end. But again, it shows and proves my point that there is no such thing as unity. There is no such thing as this notion of black skin, we're all kin folks and all that. Now, I want you guys to listen to an old taping of SHAKINA coming up. You'll hear her speaking about, let me see, let me just find the timestamp if I can. Hold up. She talked 4 years ago about living in the Gambia. Hold on.
So that's good as well. And then you get your official transfer paper, which shows that, you know, the land is transferred from A to B and you are now the owner. And then you have to get your land use paper. So whether your land is residential or agricultural. Right. So agricultural, you shouldn't be building on that. You should only be growing, having a garden. Right. And your residential is where you can, you know, build your family home, etc.
Okay.
And then after that, you will get your sketch plans for your building plans from the architect. And then you'll go back and get your building permits. You must have a permit which lasts 2 years. So you've got to make a start within 2 years. Nobody really comes to check, but just in case, we have to, you know, adhere to the law. So for me, I did all that. When I came here, I didn't start building before I left because I wanted to be here when I'm building. So for me, we build compound walls here. So around the whole perimeter of the land, you build your compound wall. Right. So, you know, people know that's yours and you put your gate up, etc. So that's done in my case. I've dug a borehole so that I can get water because I'm in a village, a proper backyard village, where there's no running water and electricity, but that's the way I want to live. So I've got a borehole. I will be relying on solar. And I've got a sockaway dug and my foundation is built and been to the rainy season.
So this is actually SHAKINA speaking about her compound and speaking about her sockaway where she was found murdered. This is her conversation 4 years ago, y'all.
also I'm using what we call earth blocks. I'm not using cement blocks because I don't think they're healthy. I think they can be quite telling on the body because you don't know what's in the cement these days. Right. So I'm using compressed earth, a little bit like what we had back in the day, not quite mud blocks, right, but they are compressed blocks. And, you know, they look very similar to our fire blocks in the UK. They've got a lovely red colour because we have a lot of red soil in Gambia. And that's the type of blocks that I'm using. I'm encouraging other people to use as well because it keeps the house cooler, it's stronger, and I think it's just generally healthy because we should be going back to nature as much as we can. That's the whole point of coming here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that, sis. That's a beautiful breakdown right there. I'm gonna come back to you, but same question really. Just looking at how you went about.
I'm gonna try to find another segment where she spoke. Hold on, let me find her speak some more.
That's not ours. They're reading a language that's not ours. But you know, they're still going back to the obia.
Yes.
It makes me laugh because you know they're doing all this, but they got everything tied up around them. So, you know, they're still serving two masters. So you see, spirituality cannot come out of us because it's there, it's part of us. So whether you're bowing down to whatever, you're still going to go back to the source, which is your spirituality. So, you know, they tie up all kind of, so there's a picnic barn and tie up all kind of something around a picnic. Yeah, but you know, they're still going to the mosque and whatever. And I'm very confused about that. But, you know, the things in Africa, and we mustn't pussyfoot around it. Our people are still colonized.
Right.
Our people are still colonized. They're not free. They're not free. So we shouldn't be surprised that, you know, these things are going on because our people are very confused and they're going to continue to be confused unless they accept what they need to accept, which is, you know, their Africanness. Because everybody else has come and they've taken away. And it's funny because 3 o'clock this morning I was up, couldn't sleep. And what did I watch? John Henrik Clarke's The Law and Order. So where you were talking about, you know, the African draws, he was talking about that in that very same lecture that I was watching this morning. So, you know, and for me, you know, the bleaching, you know, is just too much out here, too much. You know, we've still got this thing about, you know, light skin, dark skin. You know, if you're light skin, it's better. Then we've got the thing, you know, our sisters are spending enormous amounts of money on wigs and weave, and they've got beautiful natural hair underneath. And I just don't understand why they want to cover that up, because it's beautiful hair, absolutely beautiful. So there's a lot of work to be done in terms of, you know, that mindset. But I think the biggest thing that it's still difficult to get used to is that even though we're here, we know we're African, but our brothers and sisters here don't always know we're African. They will call me Jamaican and everything else. Yeah.
Pause right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Again, she was an identity extremist, in my opinion, with this African talk. She is from Antigua, I believe, if I'm pronouncing it right. But she is claiming to be African. That has always been her whole gimmick, her whole mission. In addition, the accusations of scamming of Black X and others, according to Sisters International, she was not alone. Black X. Let's listen to this, and then I'm going to conclude the video.
Coming and supporting us on our channel. So please thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button. It's important for you to subscribe. So as well as watching our videos, when we put a new video up, you will know about it. So like, it's another video. Okay, so please.
And by the way, please hit the like button. Please share the video. Subscribe to my channel. This video, again, is about the deaths of 6 women in the Gambia, the lackluster response of these head people such as this woman right here, Sisters International, and Black X, which I showed you the big bird before, and how there's scandal that is surrounding and has always been surrounding Gambia with scamming and frauding and land situations and all kinds of craziness. And she's going to break down her version of what happened as far as what she can tell with the Black X scams, and that she was not alone. Who is she referring to?
Subscribe and like if you like the content, like and comment. Open the dialogue with me so that I know I'm not just talking rubbish. I know I'm talking about things that are relevant. And I want to know what you think. Women, sisters, I want to know what you think. Guys, I want to know what you think too. This topic has been something that's been on my mind for a long time. And it's a difficult one. Okay, you've seen the title. It is a difficult one because we're sisters in the Gambia and we want to support sisters in the Gambia. What is the saying? Not all skin folk are kin folk. 1. 2. Many are called, but few are chosen. They're the two sayings. I'm going to say it again. Not all skin folk are kin folk, and many are called, but few are chosen. Now, Blackfit. There are so many channels talking about Blackfit, talking about Juliet, talking about the wrongs and the rights, and she's still continuing to be selling land and to be advertising and doing what she does. And now, I cannot say I had a good experience with Blackfit because for me, I got drawn into something, my personal experience, I got drawn into something that I wasn't sure what it was. So for me, I joined CODE, Coalition of African Descendants. And when I joined, I still have all the transcripts from those discussions and from those meetings and part of the group. I never signed any contracts or anything, but we were part of the WhatsApp group and it was crazy. I have to say, I've been coming to Gambia for 15 years and now the craziest months that I've had being part of that group. Now, it was very, very stressful. And for a lot of the time, I wasn't quite sure, and other sisters said to me, they weren't quite sure what we were in. We thought we were in an organisation that was coming together to look at how we can settle in Gambia and help others settle in Gambia and also become part of the Gambian community and part of the country. And many countries do this. You know, if you can prove, this is what my view was, if you can prove that you've been somewhere for long and you've contributed to a society, you've contributed to the economy, you've contributed to employment, and you've supported a country, then, you know, it should be easier to say, okay, can I be looked at for becoming part of Gambia? I've learned a language, I've done this, I've done that. There's criteria. This is how some countries do it. So it's not until we were in there for quite a while that we realised, hold on, automatic what? Automatic citizenship. Who comes into a country after a few months?
Now, this is what Black X was on, and I believe SHAKINA also was on this automatic citizenship, talking about they don't want to be called aliens. Oh, they felt so ostracized. Oh, how dare y'all deny my Africanness. This automatic citizenship bullshit was brought on by Black X and I believe was supported by SHAKINA back when. This video is probably 3-4 years old. Let me make sure. But again, there's a rift that has occurred behind these supposed scams that have happened. Oh, this was a year ago. This was a year ago that Sisters International is dropping this video right here. Let's listen to more of what they have to say. Again, I don't know whose side SHAKINA is at this point with this lady, Sisters International, or was they already not friendly to one another? I don't know. Let's see.
And starts demanding automatic this and automatic that, and we are this, and I'm taking to his niece or whatever it is, and demanding. We can't demand anything. We should come humble because Gambia is here, and we have come to the Gambia, and we are asking the Gambia to accept us into their home, and we have come to integrate. Yeah? So when we were in this code, many times, and I have the transcripts, many times I said, is this Blacksit? Because I don't believe in Blacksit, some of Blacksit's principles. Some I do, but some I don't. So I didn't want to be part of Blacksit, but I wanted to be part of code. So I asked many times, is this code or is this Blacksit? I didn't get a straight answer. And there's many questions I asked, and I never got a straight answer. After the meetings, the women would leave, and the men would leave, and everybody would complain about Juliet, and complain about this, and complain about that. But when we came to the next meeting, and myself and another lady, I'm not going to name her because she hasn't given me permission, but another lady, we would come forward and stand for the ladies and say, this is what we feel. You are bullying these women. You are nobody was there. Sorry, my light's gone off. But when we looked back, there was nobody. There was nobody. It's a bit like when you're going to war or going to strike or whatever. Everyone's egging you on, and you say, yeah, we're going, and you're marching, and you don't look behind because you know your people are behind you, and you're marching, and you get them, and you say, this is what we want our rights, and blah, blah, blah. And then when you turn around, there's nobody there. This is what happened during code meetings. So we stood up, and me and another lady was voices, and we got attacked, and everyone else just stood there. Now, I can't blame them because Juliet at that time was threatening everybody. If anybody said anything or anybody was against her, she was going to go to court and court action. She was going to slag off your name on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. And women are scared of that. They are so scared of that, you know. So a lot of women talk about Juliet. They know everything. They know so much about Juliet's life. They've lived with her. They've been around her family. They know a lot. Women have come to me with a lot. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to air dirty laundry. But I'm just going to say the truth about us coming to Gambia, because sometimes we're all being tarred with the same brush, and we are not. So even though we were in the code meeting, a lot of us, we didn't know it was Blacksit. And it's not until I had a discussion online with lots of people, everybody that was in code, that she actually agreed and admitted, should I say, it is Blacksit. She said, we started Blacksit. I started Blacksit. No, sorry, I started code, and I'm Blacksit. So if I started code, and I'm Blacksit, then Blacksit is code, and code is Blacksit. That's all I needed. I walked away. And when I walked away, I said, I'm not going back to another code meeting because I don't understand the bullying.
It sounds like a cult to me, y'all. Sounds like a cult to me. Lord have mercy. This video was a year ago. Again, this is Thelma of Sisters International. And I'm going to see what you guys are saying before I let that continue. But it's interesting how a big fallout happened with Black X due to these scams, alleged scams. And a whole lot of people were pointing fingers at one another. Let me see what you guys been saying. Let me see. Hi to everybody that I haven't said hi to. Thank you for appearing. Oops, I made a mistake. Okay, let me see. So it don't seem like Black Americans that know about this are mad enough. We are so naive, such silly behavior. If this had happened in a white country, maybe we would be more upset. Yeah, that's sad. We would be railing about their situation instead of our own. It's really a trip. Seven Golly says, I saw that lady Veronica Histed saying she was broke before she was found deceased. She was crying, saying she should not have to ask for a dime because her sisterhood saw she was homeless on the beach. Wow, that's sad. Like I said, one by one, people are getting plucked, either homeless, missing, killed, scammed, defrauded, or stalked, sought out. All these things are happening, and everybody thinks it is no big deal. It's no big deal. Seven Guy says, I'm not a Democrat troll. I Movement says, she showed multiple videos and photos of him wounded from Nigeria. Wills asked for money to fund his treatment. How true the story is. I looked for that picture. Kiki loves Nigeria, and I can't find it. I cannot find it. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. Kiki says, all I have to say is everything is not as it seems. Jeannie Quick says, second kitchen. I can barely deal with the one kitchen I have. Who needs a second kitchen? She living lavishly. Like I said, she did a whole host of alleged scams. Black X, it's been alleged that SHAKINA also was a partaking in that. And others like Art Cathy, like Kwesi Boyd, other people were being pointed out, called out by various people. And it was just crazy. I can't keep track of the story, to be honest with you. I'm at a loss for words. You said same talking points. We are confused about our lineage. Everyone is not African. That's what they're trying to do, trying to remix us over. Jeannie says, wow, if I wanted to live with no electricity or running water, I could live in the woods somewhere here in the United States. I wouldn't have to go anywhere else. Exactly. She has blonde braids, LOL, red flag. Yes. Sheena says, what's up? Sheena says, I will have to watch the replay. There's a video I want you to hear. Okay. Jeannie Quick says, now they're talking about spirituality again. They always do that, but are they really spiritual? Doesn't appear to me. They're very, very suspect to me. Chat Lives Matter says this compartmentalization of genders has led many people astray. Okay, manipulative. Velma just wants to be Black X, Kiki says. I don't know. Velma, though, she is, she moves very slicky like a cat. Very slicky, Velma, I must say. But you have not done a response either, Velma. You come out about the scamming scandal, but you're not coming out about these deaths, which is kind of alarming. But like I said, I don't think you guys really care about the people that you influence. I don't think Black X care. I don't think that Sister International cares. I don't think that any of y'all really care by the responses, because you guys are so part of this mindset of a cult. You have been indoctrinated beyond measure, and you're hopeful that we will ignore these deaths as just being part of the movement that has to still continue. And it's very disrespectful to me. It's very odd to me. You said when my grandparents left the Deep South in 1949, they just called it moving. Yeah. Thelma looks like she smells like a pack of Marlboro cigarettes. Kiki says, SHAKINA was there first, and she wanted a fast track to citizenship. Black X wants automatic citizenship. I know that they had the same mindset. SHAKINA and Black X were kind of the same as far as ideology is concerned. Someone that I would never want to really do what she's doing. What does citizenship get you in the Gambia? Nothing. That's the part it's just trying to attach us to Africa, in other words, because they're going to throw us in, calling us a diaspora, even though we don't have, again, a hosted country. And you can't give me one. I don't want one. What's up, Easy Axe? How are these panties going to get the government of a sovereign country, any sovereign country in the world, to accept you just because you have melanated skin? Dumb chick. Jeannie says, if someone who could not see the videos. I am enjoying people's descriptions of the people on the videos. I meant to say, as someone who cannot see the videos, autocorrect is not my friend. Okay. Kiki loves Nigeria. You have different rights just like here, namely no visa requirements. How you doing, Shinta Patel? No, Velma, you are scared of that. Kiki says, if you have citizenship and you travel to the country often or live there, it is just easier to move around. Okay. And it's not exclusive to men. Mainly, manliness is not exclusive to men, and people become what they have to survive. Let me get back to this video real quick before this video is going to be wrapped up after this.
Picked up so many times on the bullying of other sisters, the bullying, the narcissism, some of the behaviors I didn't understand. And every time we left the meeting, there were complaints. Everyone was ringing each other. People were in tears. People were upset because they'd been totally berated in the meetings. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I left, and after I left, a couple of meetings after, all hell broke loose. People were fighting. People were arguing, I heard. There was so much going on. And then they got rid of Matthew, and there's so much arguing. And I was still part of the online meeting, so I have all those transcripts where people were arguing and cursing each other. It was mad. But there is one thing I would like to say. I really need to say this. Juliet is a woman. And everything that Juliet did in the Gambia, Juliet did not do this on her own. Adrienne stood beside her, everything she did. Matthew was sitting as part of that group. Luke was her right-hand man. She put him up as head of code. She put him up to collect us and bring us in so that we thought we were part of an organisation, not realising we were part of Black Sit YouTube. There were Gambians that were involved with Juliet and involved with bringing her up, still involved with bringing her up and supporting her. Mr. Jallo, in terms of the land, they're still selling land. So when you are going for Juliet, you cannot just go for Juliet. Juliet was not on her own. She might have been the loudest mouth and the biggest character and the scariest character, but she was not alone. Now, what I'm seeing is all these men are deserting the sinking ship. The Titanic is sinking, and the guys are deserting and staying strong. Adrienne is in the UK. Adrienne, you were part of all of this when it was going on. You were standing next to Juliet, and you knew when she did right and you knew when she did wrong. And when she did wrong, you didn't say anything. You didn't stand up or stand against. Yeah? Matthew, when we were encouraged, you sat with her. Even when people questioned the money and questioned the fundraising and why is it going into Blacksit account and not Code? Why doesn't Code have an account? We all donated. We don't know what happened to that money. But Matthew, you didn't say anything. You said nothing. Luke with Angela, you guys sat there. When we moaned and we groaned and she bullied us and she, totally berated us, you sat there and said nothing. When she went ahead with her plans, Luke, you were with her. You were doing the finances with her. You were standing there, going to all these places with her, doing everything with her. I don't see you people. I don't know where anybody is. I don't see Luke. I don't see Matthew. And I don't see Adrienne. So Juliet is the only one with the Gambian support that she had left in the Gambia. And she's the one you're hanging out to dry. Now I'm saying I don't support Juliet and I don't support Blacksit. But don't hang a woman out to dry when We know it wasn't just her. All these videos about Juliet and Juliet and Juliet. Listen, Juliet and Adrian, yeah, they might have got a divorce. They're split up. So what? That's their personal life. The things that she's done, go for the things that she's done. Go for the things that people are saying she's done. There are many sisters that are upset. They have no land because they believed her. They believed her YouTube channel and they believed that you would get your land and it's now yours. That's not true. She knows it's not true and everybody knows it's not true. But those that are not in Gambia, again, I say, take responsibility. Why would you spend thousands and thousands of pounds buying something? I know she's a good talker, but why would you spend thousands of pounds buying something that you've never seen? Why didn't you do your due diligence and ask someone else as well? But a lot of people have lost money because they thought they were buying something when they didn't buy anything. The last time we tried to get some land for somebody that had bought from Brexit and Mr. Jallo, they turned around and said, there's a little piece of paper, yes, you've got your Alcala document, but there's also a little piece of paper that we wrote the plot number on. If you can't produce that paper, you can't have your land. So many of your sisters cannot access their land. So there's some bad things. And people feel like there's been no apology.
Again, all the lackluster of these deaths, but when it comes to the scam and scandal, they come out in full throttle thrust to try to explain away their situation with being connected to the Black X and others that were accused or alleged to have scammed in the Gambia. So many people got scammed out of so much money. Like I said, it was all good in the hood to believe in this Pan-African talk, this repatriation talk. Look at us now, though, with all these deaths. Look at us now. Look at Gambia now. Look at the lack of compassion about these deaths that are happening right now.
Nothing. No, I'm not going to be popular with this video, especially with the Brexit camp, but I'm telling the truth. Tell me what I'm saying that is not true. Everything I'm telling is the truth. So at the end of the day, I'm saying if you're going to go for somebody, do not hang her out to dry because she's a woman and she's just been left there and everyone else has disappeared. We know who was involved in all of this. You could be in England, you could be in America, wherever you are, you've got to take responsibility and not just leave Juliet hanging out to dry. If this goes to court, you need to be calling the Lukes and the Matthews and the Adrians up, standing with the Juliets on the platform to answer the questions. We've come to Gambia to integrate. We've come to Gambia to ask Gambians to accept us. And instead, the robbing, the lying, the stealing, the backbiting, the bitching, it's disgraceful. As I said in my previous video, one of my previous videos, it's disgraceful. And we need to have respect for ourselves and respect for where we are. We need to stop trying to grab and cheat people and try to help build. We need to stop complaining, the schools in Gambia, help build the schools in Gambia. The roads in Gambia, help build the roads in Gambia. Gambia in the rainy season, support Gambia in the rainy season. The hospitals, help build the hospitals in the Gambia. We need to start.
Again, sounds ridiculous. Help them do this. You trying to survive. Help them do that. What you gonna do? What can you do? What are they doing? When it comes to people in need of support, like Angela Africa went out there needing support and was not supported, was left high and dry, not supported at all. But to clear their name about scams and whatnot, they'll come out about that. They'll talk about that. But the face of repatriation, CHINEDU, rest in peace to her. This is proof again that Pan-Africans cannot be trusted. They're all about the money. They are very greedy, wicked, self-centered, trying to dominate other people with this identity so-called crisis talk. This repatriation talk is garbage. And you guys are not going to be able to explain away 6 deaths. 6 deaths in a short amount of time, like 9 months. Wow, let me see what you guys are saying. Oops, let me see. I did that mistake. All right, go back up. Okay. Sheena says, Genuine, they want all of us to be under that spell. It will not work on me. Okay. I heard that. Hold on. Let me see. Why is that not working? Okay. And Movement says, view on Black X 4 months ago, Kalada Briggs emergency appeal, urgent notice. Our fundraising team have requested for more time. Fundraising appeal live on Wednesday, 18th, October, what? 8 p.m. Kiki for Black. I don't understand. You said long ago they had this gathering for this fundraising appeal. Okay, you got to say more than that. Kiki says, but really, what difference does it make? That's how you know Velma is jealous, because if it's part of Black X or code, it's still working towards the same goal, which was automatic citizenship. Yeah, which I don't care for, because again, that goes against trying to ad-lib us into the mess, their mess. Genuine says, Sheena, you are correct. Don't allow in which warlock to put you under a spell. I definitely think that some of those people are part of some cult, some situation, some code of conduct. That's how they're moving, indoctrinated, like under a spell, under a script. Now, why would they be given money and they don't know where the money is going? Exactly. Why? Gambia Global says Matthew is now arrested in the UK for some crimes he committed. Wow, I don't know who Matthew was. Genuine says, damn, how are we trying to build Africa but not building ourselves? Again, that's what it's all about, is about building Africa and self-sacrifice yourself willfully towards the concept of this repatriation movement. And a lot of people are literally willfully self-sacrificing, in my opinion. Rights against his disabled little sisters, Kiki says. Chat Lives Matter says the Gambian government can't protect its own border and does not have the military power to secure its currency or further its own interests. Land ownership in such a place is overrated. Genuine says, good live, sister. You are hitting many great points. The snakes are out of the bag. Yes, they are. Thank you for that. Chat Lives Matter says, I read that Gambia military budget is $15 million total. Okay. Easy Access will be interesting to see what type of damage control we will see from Gambian government. Now is a good time for them to give land and citizenship to diaspora, but they will not. I'm not a diaspora, and I don't promote this so-called diaspora. Kiki says land ownership in Africa is an illusion. Yes, it is. Gambian Global TV says Matthew was the owner of Hypoliink Holiday Resort in the Gambia, but now under arrest in UK. Wow. Genuine says, damn, you are correct. A cult wicked movement. It is. They're moving like a cult. Well, how else would you explain this? Is Hypoliink still open? Kiki asks. Velma needs to stop. She doesn't even live in the Gambia. I think she just built a house over there. I'm not quite sure if that's still the case right now, Kiki. She might have just built a house over there. She was talking about a new house recently that she was talking about. So I don't know. That might not still be the case. Cat Lives Matter says they need all of that in Alabama too. They should help themselves first, Miss D says. Sassy Ear says, totally ridiculous. The Pan-African community scam and hurt each other, Ms. Ms. D says. Black Americans come first and no one else, Sheena says. Facts. Kiki Loves Nigeria says, just 6 just in the Gambia, 8 throughout West Africa. That's I have reported on in this last year. Yes, Kiki has been instrumental in reporting all these deaths. People were not interested in the deaths of Black women. They were not interested at all. Now that the number has climbed to 6, all of a sudden people are now concerned and they got advice now to give. They have opinions to give. They got hypotheses to give and theories to give. iMovement says, view on community page for photo of alleged shooting of Nigerian. I don't know what you mean. The U.S. government should be investigating the deaths of U.S. citizens. Yes, that's right, Sheena, they should. Global TV, Gambia Global. I'm not sure if Hypoliink Holiday Resort is still open while Matthew is held in UK, but a little bit research will bring everything to light. Sheena says, I was asking if they were under some sort of mind control. It seems to me like it's mind control. I'm not lying. Jeannie says, chat lives matter. I am visibly impaired and thus cannot see the video, so I am sure there is some aspects I'm missing out on. All I can do is listen. Thanks for listening, Gina. What happened to Luke? Kiki says, or ask. And then Kiki asks, she's building the house, but she does not live there. Okay, she does. Okay, so the house, I think the house is almost done though. It might be almost done. Okay, trolls taken care of. Thank you, Seven Golly, appreciate you. Easy access that 15 million for Gambian military comes from U.S. government. Okay, so in conclusion, y'all, Pan-Africans do not care at all about nothing at all. Let me see. But you know what? Here is a picture of, I guess, Black ex-boyfriend or fiance or husband. I don't know. But talk about whenever she's in trouble or somebody that she likes or wants to deal with, wants to be supported, she'll give up that information. She will support, giving support to the people she loves. But when it came to Anja Africa, she was a no-show. When it comes to the death of these women, she is still a no-show. She is fake. She is full of fraud. She always working on something to get money. Oh, look at my man. Oh, he's in dire straits right now. We need you guys' help and support. He needs to have something done for this. I forgot. What was he having done? Do you know, Kiki? Crazy. That's her man, though. But when it comes to 6 deaths, she ain't got a response yet, except for the lame post that she gave. Crazy. It's a picture of a man in a hospital bed with a tube connected to his nose. Yes, that's right, Jeannie. Jenny, I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Quick. Chat Lives Matter says, do you have any information about African women during that same time period? I don't know. Okay. Luke fall out with Juliet, Black X, now running his own land dealings and construction business, just like what Juliet is now doing in complete darkness. Wow. That looks fake. Yeah, it looked fake, but I bet you she was trying to get money for that though, right? As usual. You said look closely. Hold on. Let me find it again. Hold on. Let me bring it back. It did look fake. But that's what they do. They probably orchestrated this bullshit. That's what they're about. Always trying to find ways to make money or get sympathy for their situation. But 6 women dying in the Gambia is not alert enough for Black X, for Sisters International to say something because of the fact that they were warring against one another at one point. But it just proves my point. There's no such thing as unity. There's no such thing as this Black unity, this Pan-African so-called talk. But again, they seem to be a part of a cult or sort for them to be on code about repatriation come what may. No matter what, self-sacrifice yourself, Black American, self-sacrifice yourself, UK, Brit, sacrifice yourself for this notion of return to Africa willfully. And it's probably joyous for those types of people of wickedness. Love y'all to lose it all, lose your life, lose your savings, become homeless, destituted. They probably get off on this type of thing. They probably enjoy seeing us have this type of thing happen to us. But again, when something happens to her so-called man, you got to be on code to help them out. Be on code to help them out. Crazy. He had a fake ass tube and a tape on his neck, on his nose. That was crazy. What is the Sisters International video showing now? I can hear the lady talking and it sounds like maybe she is in a house or something like that. I don't know. I think she was in the house. Yeah, she was in her house speaking, but that video was a year ago. I was just showcasing how she was talking about Black X and the scandal and the scam that was going on with land scams. And she was trying to say that she's not connected to Black X and don't try to mix and mingle them up together as one, because they're not. They have their own faction going on, their own, separate situation going on, but for the same goal though, repatriation still go back to Africa still. His eyes look flossily closed and that color on his shirt is up. Yes, they were raising money. Yes, of course they were raising money. What guy in the hospital? That was her boyfriend or fiance or husband. I don't know what he is. Baby daddy, who knows? One of them. Jeannie Quick, you may be further back in the video. Do you guys know if he's married to her? Why is the feeding tube on the tip of his nose? Oh my God. What's with May? I don't know who May is. Right, I got a couple of phone calls, all right. The new man of Juliet was in the hospital last year. And Kiki says, no, V wants her own money. She doesn't want to share the money or the thing with anyone. So that concludes this video, y'all. I hope that you guys would like, share the video, and understand that this death of SHAKINA should be more important to the Pan-Africans than it appears that they are. Their lack of compassion about the way in which she died is astonishing to me. The lack of compassion about the 5 American women that died suspiciously is alarming to me. And there's a higher power or situation going on behind the scenes that these people are having allegiance to this movement. They are definitely, come what may, gonna ride this thing out, this demon out, and try to force this narration of death happen everywhere. It's not no big deal if it happens in Africa. They're trying to desensitize us to believe that it's okay to die in Africa. It's okay to labor, buy land, build a house, and be found in a well with your head crushed, with dirt thrown on you, in a wasteful, nasty environment, a pit. No concern for her and how she died. Then all the other 5 deaths just mysteriously came. The suffering of Anja Africa, her last moments in life, I cannot get over. the suffering she must have suffered and how she was just merely ignored. All in all, you guys are fake as Pan-Africans. Fake as fuck. Fake. With all the deaths in America, though, people are desensitized. Barina Carr's death in Georgia is still undiscussed. That's true. Terrence Battlefield, the word narrative, sorry if you got offended by a correction, ma'am. Narrative, yeah, narrative. Audacity, coming into someone's country, dictating what they should with their constitution talk about, entitled. Yeah, that's what SHAKINA did, and that's what Black S was trying to do. They were trying to force this notion that we need to be added into the Constitution. We need to be recognized as being African. We need to have citizenship or an adjustment of our identity. You said something is happening in May. Something is happening in May. My mind is blank on that right now. All right, anything, Kiki says. No, V wants her own money. She doesn't want to share the money or anything with anyone. It looks like they must be sponsored behind the scenes to, again, propel and push this movement forward. And they call themselves reconstructing this movement as of late. And so these deaths came at the worst time to be brought forth, because it is really, again, putting a stain on the movement, this notion, the face of reparations, or not reparations, but repatriation, SHAKINA, CHINEDU. This is a major, major blow. And the level of lack of compassion is just obvious, that it's just something strange going on about this movement, y'all. Something strange is going on. An adjustment to the Constitution, I am lost. They wanted SHAKINA and Black X have been trying to work on doing automatic citizenship and trying to add us in the Constitution. Again, both from UK, from the Caribbean, had the same mindset and ideology, as much as I believe Velma of Sisters International also shares the same ideology. And most Pan-Africans are claiming to share this ideology, that we need to all go and return to Africa, that we are all one and we're African. And now it's showcasing that it's not as safe as you would like us to believe Africa is. A nice, restful dwelling that you can find peace and paradise. You can find a lot of stuff, a lot of loss. Where is the property of SHAKINA going to? Who is going to now take over all that effort? 7 years, y'all. 7 years. Okay, let me see. I am American all the way. However, the deep-seated issues are what's going to crumble society. I say this as a veteran as well. There is a lot of strangeness that's been happening for years. Yeah, and it's affecting all of us all over the place, but there's no great escape to go somewhere else, in other words, in my opinion. And that's something that we got to accept. Easy access. Gambia area of West Africa had major slave trading. It's still an evil place. Spirits are still there claiming bodies. Yes, they are. Seated, rather, Terrence says. Oh, wow, I did not know about that. In chat, Lives Matter says, strangeness such as, it's all a mystery to me about these deaths, besides the one where anger overtook the young man that did what he did. I wonder what clicked in his mind, what triggered him in his mind. Was it just getting 1,000 pounds? 1,000 pounds. And I hope that there's not other people involved. I hope, though, that there will be an investigation to determine whether or not others were involved. I will keep up on this story, though. I'm definitely going to keep up on this story. So I hope that you guys would like the video, share the video. So if it's in pounds, it's $1,259.77. That's what he killed her over. That's what he killed her over. He go chop your dollars. Oh, you know what? I could play that song. Seven Golly. All right. I Movement says still no Gambian news report that the alleged murderer has been charged. Not yet. Not yet. I will definitely try to find other videos that will talk about it if it ever appears, and I will bring that back to light. Terrence says civilians are lost in topics that aren't relevant to American issues. Government is currently using political sway to constantly send red herrings. I went to Afghanistan. Oh, wow. Chat Lives Matter says, why accept the 1,000-pound story? I don't buy it. I need to hear more. Well, right now that's kind of, you know, the guy living in poverty probably never had that kind of money on him. How did he get that money suddenly? And then he has it in his house or something like that. When he's found, he works for her. He knows that she might have had money on her because of, you know, the back and forth of, you know, being in Africa. You got to have money on you for something, for some reason. He knows she had some degree of money on her at all times. So he might have took the opportunity just to take her out because it was desperation on his part, or he felt triggered by something. He got angered about something and decided to rob her too. Who knows how it followed. Some of the missions were very questionable, Terrence says. Ms. Diaz says dangerous going over there because the jealousy. They hate we have more than them, I guess you wanted to say. Yes. Than them, yep. Okay, news reporter. I just checked Gambian Police FBA Fan2 Network and what's on Gambia. Let me know if you found something. You think planted money happened? That's all speculation is what I'm saying. I mean, if there's more information to come out, I will correct whatever needs to be corrected. But right now, they think that it was the guy that worked for her and got 1,000 pounds on him. Actual evidence, so I'm reserving my judgment. Okay, evidence of what specifically? I don't know if there'll be other things discovered, but if it comes out, I definitely will update you guys about it. But I think, again, me not being a Pan-African, you guys can understand why I don't have a lot of emotion behind caring, you know, if someone passed on or not. But I do feel the way she passed was horrific. That's really horrific. And the attitudes of these Pan-Africans thus far shows that we are expendable to the cause of this repatriation mindset, irregardless of whoever dies. Does not matter. Nothing reported on any of those news outlets so far. Okay. And you said, Chat Lives Matter says, Terrence Banfield, we're talking about this case in the Gambia, but there was a strong nationalism bend to the discussion before they ever found a suspect. They said it was an immigrant from Sierra Leone. That's what they're saying. Yes, I don't like the fake-ish. So thank you all for appearing. I really appreciate it. If you guys could, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. I will give any updates that I can find. And again, I'm paying attention to West Africa. I'm paying attention about this so-called repatriation movement. and anything having to do with Pan-Africanism, because to me it's a thorn in Black American side. It is, again, people trying to impose their will of changing identities and trying to, you know, connect themselves to Africa. I don't mind that people do it solarly by themselves, but I don't like them trying to attach me to a movement that I didn't sign up for. And that's what Pan-Africans, unfortunately, are trying to do, trying to impose their will onto us through citizenship, through so-called passports, through automatic citizenship talk, through identity crisis talk. This conversation is still going to go on, blaming the people that are still trying to be the way they have been for hundreds of years. It's always going to be some way of scapegoating, you know, people that are in other parts of the world that's not related to Africa. I'm sure that they're going to try to twist and turn the narrative to be the fault of the woman somehow. But it's the culture, and it's the poverty, and it's the jealousy that is all steeped in their countries, because they're not doing so well. And so anyone that's coming over there that's American has to be doing better than average to survive. They have to. And so there's going to be a clash of culture. There's bound to be a clash, and that's what happened. You said they arrested him. He took money from her. Yup. $1,000 probably is more than they make in a year. Could feed a family for four months. Oh, wow. Okay. So that does mean a lot for him. As a Black man, Black American has many thorns in their side. Yes, we do. Chat Lives Matter says, have a good day. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Terrence Banfield says, I don't understand the blame game of the past and human nature. We argue about a few hundred years of people fighting over land, when in all reality, all that land had to be fought for at one point. Okay. Oops, missed a beat in the conversation. Likewise. Thank you all for coming, though. I really appreciate you spending time with me. Like and share the video. Hopefully there won't be no more deaths in the Gambia for me to report on. But if there are, I will be there to tell you what's going on. And if anything happens in West Africa, like Nigeria, I'm planning on talking about Nigeria probably in the next couple of days, about their Naira falling, about the problems of people surviving. They're becoming hungry. Again, this notion of returning to West Africa is not panning out the way in which they would like us to believe, but they are definitely indoctrinated. They're under some type of spell or hypnosis to carry forward this mission. It feels very cultic. It feels very wicked. It is not, in my opinion, the way to think and be for a Black American. That's my position for those that are not knowing. I believe in just believing that you're American and we need to worry about our own problems. We are being fed off of by vultures right now. And people globally are trying to feed off of us also with this notion of Pan-African talk. You guys going to see. It's all going to come in full clarity on what I'm saying. But you clearly can see a red flag with 6 deaths, and major Pan-Africans are not even coming out to give condolences and talk about the safety issue with single Black Western women losing their lives and how vulnerable they are. They're hiding right now. Thank you, iMovement, for your support. I really appreciate you. And Denisha says they should do better in their own land, but now the foreign Black comes and have to help them out, but it's never enough, never enough. Then they have a derogatory words for the foreign Black. Yeah, they do. They don't really like us. They're jealous of us. They want to become us. That's what it is. That's the reality that it is. Thank you for coming through, Seven Galley. I really appreciate you. And Terrence says, economically, it makes 0 sense helping out all these other countries with higher GDPs than us. Meanwhile, we're in national debt. Yes, we are. Thank you all. Again, I'll be back. If not tomorrow, the next day. I'll probably be talking more about Africa and other places, what's going on with those types of countries, and the fact that people are trying to sell us that we need to be there when there's, you know, always unrest, always high incidences of poverty, and how that affects the locals would affect you directly or indirectly. There's no escape. There's no escape. Easy access, the divide is going to come between Black Americans and panties. We can't coexist together as it is now. That's ultimately what it's going to boil down to. I am anti-Pan-African. I don't believe in this notion of returning to Africa. I don't hate Africans. I don't know them enough to hate, but I don't believe that people can tell us what our future entails with another country that has never done nothing for us. And that you're willfully sacrificing yourself to Africa in so many different ways we're finding. I think it's better for us to rally around the notion that we're Americans and we need to care about what's happening to us here. People are taking us away from here to think about Africa. And I think that that scattered brain is messing with us spiritually, messing with us, stagnating us, confusing us. Thank you for appearing. Thank you for subbing. I really appreciate you. God bless. Please like and share the video, and bless up.